With over 100 million players, Call of Duty Warzone is one of the most popular games that you can play right now. This game, being free to play, has brought in a lot of players from a bunch of different genres, from other FPSs such as Halo, and sometimes outside of FPSs, so people who had only played The Sims or Animal Crossing. People who jump onto free games such as Among Us, Fortnite, and now Warzone are finding things to be a little bit different. So with this video, I hope that I can make it easier for new players to understand some of the basic parts of Warzone and get up to speed with the regular player base without the frustration of trial and error. And if you aren't new, leave a couple of tips down in the comments. Maybe I missed something. Before I get into the tips though, make sure that you do the 3 tutorials, including the Battle Royale practice, because they will answer some of the questions for the more basic parts of the game, stuff that I probably won't be getting into. But let's get to the video. One of the biggest things that sets Warzone apart from all the other Battle Royales is loadouts. Loadouts are an integral part of Warzone, and this allows you to bring your own custom weapons, classes, perks into battle, and potentially have an advantage over someone else. A lot of the weapons that people will be using though, and perks especially, aren't available from the start. So one of the first things that I'm gonna tell you is rank up. And thankfully there's an extremely easy way to do this. Later in the video, I'll show you 2 classes that are extremely good, but completely available by the time you're level 31. There is a mode called Plunder, which removes much of the stress from normal Warzone and makes things a little easier, giving you unlimited respawns and letting you immediately start with your loadout. It's extremely easy to rank up your weapons and your level by doing contracts. There's specific contracts called supply run contracts, and they look like a stopwatch. All they require you to do is to get to the marked area, which is a buy station. And once you're there, you get a discounted item or a free self-revive, plus your XP. If you do this during a double XP weekend, or if you use your own double XP tokens, you're going to be ranking up extremely fast. And once you have a decent loadout, if you're feeling a bit aggressive, then you can go for bounty contracts, which are more rewarding. Now, let's get to movement. Basically, you're going to be moving around the map as fast as you can. If you double tap your sprint button, you're going to be doing a tactical sprint, which gets you around much faster. You can sprint right through closed doors, so you don't have to worry about pressing a button, and you can jump through windows, but you gotta know that these things do make sound. But most of the thing about movement is getting to know the map, so use Plunder to explore the map and get used to it. Just like your movement, your looting needs to be fast. In Plunder, you can ignore all weapons, and you'll automatically pick up cash and plates, but you should look out for these spinning tablets, which are kill streaks. Always grab them if you see them. And in normal Battle Royale, use the weapon's description to figure out if you want to use it or not. And usually, higher rarities mean better quality, but this is not always the case. But knowing these things takes either time to practice with them, especially in Plunder, or just knowing the game well enough to know what makes a gun good. Now for some more combat related tips. While this may seem obvious to those who play first-person shooters, especially over the last few years, when you use a sniper rifle using a high zoom optic, you're gonna have weapon glint. So if you see some glint, basically something really shiny in the distance, it's probably a sniper about to shoot you. You can use this to take cover or return fire, since it's pretty easy to know where they are. When you get shot by an enemy, you're gonna have a little red arc somewhere on the edge of your screen. This arc will point at the direction of where you got shot from. This small arc will continue to turn towards the enemy that shot you, even if you take cover and are turning your camera around. This is extremely helpful to know if you're just trying to take cover or if you're trying to get your teammates to return fire. Which brings us to the next tip. Always use the ping system. If you see an enemy or see danger, ping it. And if you can't accurately ping a target, double tap to ping danger. Or open your map and double click to also ping danger. Conversely, listen for pings. Know the sound and look around for them whenever you hear one. Basically, if you always have a live ping on someone, you can always track them behind cover, and it would be super helpful for your entire team. But pinging's not always about danger. You can ping anything basically. A location you want to move to, an item you want to pick up, a vehicle you want to get to, or contracts. And I guess this brings me to your maps, the most important tool in Warzone. Your minimap will show you danger around you and give you a general layout of the immediate surroundings. And if you haven't done it already, switch your minimap from a circle to a square. It'll show you a bigger area. But here's a quick tip. If you see a red dot on your minimap or your TAC map, ping it with a normal ping actually. So then you can have a kind of a marker of where there's possible danger. 2 of the most powerful things in Warzone are the UAV and the heartbeat sensor. You can get a UAV at a buy station, and with this, it'll show you enemies within a 250 meter radius. If you call 3 UAVs at once, it'll be a semi-advanced UAV. This will expand the UAV radius to the entire map, show enemies in real time, including the direction they're facing, and it'll show ghost players outside of 250 meters. So if you call in 3 UAVs and the nearest enemy is 250 meters away, just be a little cautious because the area around you may not be entirely clear. And the heartbeat sensor is basically a portable UAV. Whenever you use it, it pings enemies within 50 meters. But just remember, UAVs and heartbeat sensors won't be detecting ghost players. For the next tip, listen to audio cues. You can easily hear footsteps, and if you hear gunfire in the distance, note that because there's danger possibly nearby. And if you hear some whizzing or bullets impacting near you, try to figure out where they're coming from because the next shot may hit you. This also applies during gunfights because the enemy operators do say things, and if you're using subtitles, you can read it too. Sometimes you can hear or read reloading or grenade out, which means attack them now or take cover. And also, listen for the announcer. He can be helpful when saying things like an enemy is dropping near you. And when you do hear that, look up to the sky and try to figure out where they're gonna land. Make sure that you're not about to get flanked, or if you can, try to take them out as quickly as you can. So let's get into those loadouts. For our ghost loadout, we're gonna be using the M4A1 as a mid to long range weapon. And here's the build that I use. As a secondary, we're using a 9-11, although I personally wouldn't use it. It's just here because it's the first thing you basically unlock. As for perks, we've got EOD or cold-blooded depending on the mode we're playing, Ghost to stay off the radar, and Amp to swap weapons faster. Although if you're planning on using a pistol, you can use something else. As for your lethal, it doesn't matter too much what you end up picking, as long as you can use it effectively. And I have a video on that if you want to figure out which one is perfect for you. And for your tactical, you can either use a heartbeat sensor to gather that intel, or if you're extremely aggressive, use a stun grenade. And for the Overkill loadout, we got the M4 again, but this time we're going to be using the Cold War MP5. Here's the build that you can use. Then for perks, we got EOD again, which again, you can switch out for cold-blooded. We got Overkill, Amped because we have 2 weapons and we want to swap weapons quickly, and again, your lethal and tactical are up to you. Hopefully this video will help you remove some of the frustration that it is when starting out in Warzone. If there's something that I missed or something that you just want me to break down even more, please ask in the comments because every Wednesday I do a Community Wednesday. On my Community Wednesdays, I take a topic or a question from a comment from the last week and I discuss it, leaving an entire video just for that one person. So don't be afraid to ask these questions because I will gladly answer them. But that's the video. If you enjoyed it or if it has helped you in any way, please hit like. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section down below. And if you want to make sure that you never miss another video, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.